It started, and hello and welcome to What's Up Universe for Friday, June the 2nd. Hello to the beautiful new June energies. You're going to probably get a sense that this June, we've got a little bit of different energies at play. We come into the beginning of this month, of course, right off the get-go with a full moon this coming weekend, which means that the energy is a little bit up and down. There's a little bit of emotional tidal waves that could be taking place. You might feel a little bit scattered. You might feel like you are just like raring to go and getting lots done, or you could feel like procrastinating. You might feel a little bit stuck. You might feel a little bit out of flow. However, when we move into the later part, kind of mid-June into the later part of June, you're going to see that this energy really allows us to not only find that flow again, but of course, to connect deeply within not only our own selves and touch with the emotional bodies. We're going to be a little extra sensitive psychically and emotionally, of course, because new moon, we've got, of course, in a water sign coming in. Sorry, no, I'm totally mixed up. Wrong, cancel, clear, delete, all that. We have our full moon happening this weekend in fire. Of course, it's in Sagittarius. So it's really firing up our emotional bodies. I'm going to talk more about that in just a moment. You're going to see, as I said, right now, this is quick, fast energy. We have this energy that is helping us to really let go. I mean, I've been doing a lot of conversation lately about the word let. Letting is allowing. Let there be light. Let go. Let yourself, just be in this moment, just into a greater state of allowing. This is really important because as June picks up into the latter part, we're going to see a lot of things begin to manifest in our world. It's been, especially when we look back to those things that we were hoping, dreaming, wishing upon, 6 months ago, we're going to see some of that fruition begin to take place for us here in 2023. So again, this really letting is a state of surrender. It's where we find flow and finding, of course, the greater scope of acceptance of who we are and where our life is at this juncture anyway. But we begin, as I said, this beautiful energy, of course, where these next few weeks, you're going to see that things, even probably when you woke up yesterday, you're probably feeling like you had a new kind of bounce in your step. And that's because the energy has us flowing more. As I said, it's going to really be incredible at the end, but we're coming into flow, but still some ups and downs, some emotional beginning, an emotional start to this month of June. However, because it's in Sagittarius, there is that lightness of energy. There is some joy. There is some opportunity here for us to kind of move through into experiencing or creating more sweetness in life and remembering to play, to have fun. And of course, that really is what raises our emotional body, which of course, it becomes a very heightened in terms of our connection to those unseen realms. Now, hello to June, because again, as I said, we are rising. You're going to see a lot of rising and falling, which means that in that energy, our vibrations are going to be expansive and then a little contracting, expansive and a little bit contracting. So again, this is where this weekend is really just honoring whatever's coming up, because there's a lot of transformations taking place. This is a weekend where you might feel a little bit exhausted and yet super inspired at the same time. It's an energy that's asking us to honor the ebb, the flow, the high, the low, the expansion, and the contraction. So much of what's taking place is not only this great, healing, which always takes place during full moon, but it's really helping us to come into not the higher consciousness, so we can begin to see everything, everyone in our life, what's happening, what isn't happening from a new or higher perspective. Now, what's so fun in this as well, as we're moving into this, we have, of course, the solstice coming up. June really is an energy and a vibe of what is spiritual abundance. And so we're going to see that there's an activation within this energy that's allowing us to feel more abundant, to recognize the blessings, to see, and even just looking out at nature to see the abundance that is available to us, the abundance of sunshine, the abundance of leaves on the trees, the abundance of friendships, the abundance of love, and on and on and on. So where that really is the supporting energy, which is allowing for some of those other manifestations, those things we've been praying for, hoping, dreaming of, to begin to take form. So that's really, and this is a very exciting month for that. And what also is happening with this energy that's uplifting and that's beginning to help us to really move into greater alignment with our authenticity, being able to come back into some focus in terms of our goals, our aspirations, working, I would say, what maybe on the things that you have been maybe contemplating, reflecting on in terms of even your business, in terms of how you serve. That's going to become clearer and clearer for you this month as well. And again, not only clearer, but also it has that action orientated, that movement forward energy that's really going to help you to be of greater expression of your authenticity, greater expression of your truth as mediums and spiritual empaths, and of course, greater expression, which also allows for enhanced communication with the other side. Now, we have some alignments happening with Neptune, of course, this month as well, which in partnership with the full moon is really activating a greater aspect of compassion. And of course, I'm a huge advocate and believer that mediums are the compassionate healers of the world. We're able to go into those dark, those sad, those grieving places of not only our own hearts, but the hearts of others. And through compassion, when in partnership and with passion to be of service, that we're able to really help to bring and support transformation and healing, as I said, not only for ourselves, but of course, with others in our connections to the other side. So because there is this alignment and this activation of energies, that is what is also enhancing that communication with the unseen world. So as I said, our emotional body, which dictates our vibration, and when we're in a high vibration, we're able to really engage, and there's a lot of flow between worlds. A lower vibration means that there's a little bit more congestion in the veil, making it a little bit more challenging to be able to receive those impressions from the other side. But with this lift of energy, with this fired up energy of this moon, in addition to the influences coming in from Neptune, you're going to see that this is going to really open up greater pathways, greater feelings of connectivity, and really helping you to move into what is flow between the physical and non-physical worlds. As always, we need to slow down, we need to meditate, we need to listen and really tune in. So make sure that you're giving ample time to allow for those messages, those visions, that conversation and communication from your angels, your guides, and especially your loved ones on the other side. Or of course, if you're doing it on behalf of others, giving it some space, some time, and some breath for it to connect and move through your body. Now, this full moon, as I said, where it's a big release, there's lots of letting go. And if letting go, when we look at it, is also in terms, of course, our healing. The more that we heal, the more that we clear through our funk, the more that we give ourselves permission to let the past go, to forgive, to not sweat the small stuff anymore, the more that we are choosing our higher path, the more fine-tuned we are to hearing and to our visions and our senses through the scope of, and those really, it's the very thing that begins to clear that veil. Now we have here, as we not only have this energy that's uplifting, it's healing, it's stimulating, it's activating, we're having clearer communication with the other side. You're also going to see that as we move into early part next week, as we've raised in vibration and raised in consciousness, there's a real energy that helps us to really establish what is our foundation. There's like a grounding of purpose that takes place here after the full moon, which is really going to help for that higher path to continue to unfold. But you're going to feel more stability, more groundedness, and of course more focus in terms of being able to clear through and to get some things done. Now, Here is also where we always look at full moon cycles, because it is triggering the emotional body, and especially because we have it in a fire sign, you're going to understand and know that there's a lot of influences in terms of darker, heavier energies of the collective, maybe in terms of even, as we open up to within that fifth realm of consciousness, where there's some lower vibrating spirits that we may come into contact with, or we might, have even an increase of disruption, poltergeist activity, things like that. I'm not saying this to create the fear factor in this. I'm saying this to put you into your empowered state to make sure that this weekend you are doing your space and energy clearings. You're going to want to make sure that you're closing any portals, any gateways, anything that's open. Want to make sure that you're closing it, and you want to reestablish higher frequency energy that's going to support that higher view, that higher perspective, and clear out all of those non-beneficial energies that may otherwise be compounding that emotional body, which of course we're extra sensitive during full moon. So again, this is going to, which means that, we might, if we're not careful, we could end up enraveled or entangled within some drama, and maybe saying things we wish we wouldn't have said, or feeling just all in a forlorn or a funk all weekend. So utilize, the access that you have as mediums with your space and energy clearings. Work with the universe here in this uplifting, fired up energy of possibility, of potential, of greater connection, that you're also doing your due diligence and taking that energetic responsibility so that your environment, your spaces, your home, the places that are sacred to you are in energies that are aligned and supportive of your highest and greatest good. And of course, you're going to, because of it, you will feel like you're recharged, you're energized, etc. Now, as always, as we go through energy times like this, sleep is going to be for, I'm not sure who for, because sleep always is, becomes affected during high energy phases like this. Again, give yourself opportunity this weekend to rest when you need to rest. Know that, sleep is probably going to be light because of it. Of course, great opportunity to do some automatic writing, to do some channeling, to connect with your spirit guides, to connect with the angels, and really, allow for those messages to be received. This is a time, again, where we look at most people are, when they're sleeping, the energy of the world goes up, so to speak, or, in our communities or around us, simply because everyone's ego goes to sleep. So this higher vibration gives us a greater access point to be able to connect with those other realms of consciousness and get some information in terms of our next steps, what it is we need to heal, what it is we need to let go of, etc. So again, this energy is helping us to really become very focused, energized, clearing out the old, we could say burning away the old, so that the newness can really come forward. You're going to see that after we make it through this weekend, and of course, after your space and energy clearing, you're going to feel like I want to say maybe a lot more carefree. There's a lightness in your heart and a little bit more ease in terms of dealing with some of the other challenges that may arise for you. Now, when we look at this, because full moon, we know the activation, we know how it affects our subtle body system. This is also, as always, where we're looking to do anything we can to really help opening up that communication to the other side, which means that it's a great time to do some, to recharge or realign your energy centers. And especially, I'm going to encourage you to really work within the heart chakra, within the high heart, because this energy is so intense. We're feeling it. It's as with every full moon, we feel it. It's fired up. We know that, people are going to be fired up within their emotional bodies over this weekend, which means, as I said, there could be a lot of drama. So we want to make sure that we are in a place that we are energetically healthy. So we're not in a constant state of absorption, but more of a, what would be a champion of the light, someone who, the greatest fullness of light, so that you're not absorbing, but that you are reflecting that light instead. That's also going to to help, especially as the spiritual empath, so that you don't become in a state of emotional overwhelmment simply because of the energies that are out in the world. So it could get a little sticky and could get a little bit difficult. However, with this energy this weekend, we're looking to receive those messages. We're doing what we can in order to work and co-create and in collaboration with the universe, with our guides and angels, to really begin to expedite or to bring forward the manifestations that, helping us to find our next step on our path, and to create what would be a positive vision for what lies ahead. This is a time, these energies, again, encouraging compassion. This is why, coming back to the heart, why extra energetic TLC on the heart chakra, on the high heart. Again, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all of these energies, if your emotional body is overstimulated and you're having trouble finding your center, finding your grounding, again, being able just to tap very gently on the high heart is going to allow for your nervous system to settle. It's going to allow yourself to be able to release anything that maybe has been overwhelming in that moment, and allow for a greater place or state of what would be compassion for those who are struggling or suffering or caught up in, some of their own awakening symptoms, and is going to allow you to stay in that energy of compassion so that you can show up as the true light and compassionate healer that you are. So again, this is, we need to continue in practice of this, that our, as energy sensitives, this world is ever evolving. There's all these influences that help to support us and raise us higher. However, in the process, what's happening in the world around us, because we're so sensitive to other people's thoughts, other people's feelings, other people's emotional bodies, we're sensitive to the spirit world, the high vibrational spirits, the low vibrational spirits, it can become a little bit much. So here, over these next few days, let this sometimes be a moment to moment. Be sure to check with yourself, find out what it is you truly need to feel nurtured, to feel cared for, and to allow for that energy of compassion to flow completely unhindered, so that and for you to stay, of course, within your own self. This is really what's going to help there to be a greater state of compassion everywhere. We look at, not only do we have this beautiful energy that is supportive of great abundance in our life, it's also creating what is an abundance of compassion. The good news here is that you've been having any challenges in a relational issues whatsoever, if there's been, even with, friends and family, this is going to be a time here of great harmonization of things, where there's healing between you and other people. And what's so great about this is that, of course, the more we heal, the clearer and clearer our connection to the other side. So do what you can to stay out of the drama, to be able to stay centered, take energetic responsibility for what it is that you can do. And of course, your prayers, your meditation, and those choices that you get to make in every single moment can make all the difference. And so really, allow for that, or allow some space, some time, and that compassion to be your guide. Now, this, as I said, it's an emotional vibe. It's an emotional vibe, and it's also calling us to take action. So taking action sometimes can also be, not only are we looking at doing our work to heal and to let things go, action is also those space and energy clearings, the alignments that we do for our energy centers. Action is our intentions. This is, we don't need to wait for a new moon or specific times. We can put out intentions into the universe at any date, any time, and we can utilize the potency of energy, not just with what's supporting us within the planets, but also what most is supporting is the love, the compassion of what is rising from within our hearts, that great depth of desire. So here, when we look at it, this is a great time to do some work even around belief systems, letting go of outcomes, being more, this is the big one for me, becoming more detached in terms of outcomes, knowing that and trusting that our need, the universe always provides for our needs. The needs are already cared for, that it has already been asked, and it was asked even before we were conscious of the asking. So our greatest way of approaching this energy is to open to greater receptivity, where what we give, we shall receive. So here again, anything that needs to be healed, anything that you need to let go of, any belief systems that are not supportive of you being worthy of abundance, of you having joy, well-being in your life, of you being able to experience joy and do your mediumship readings, for you to not, to be the compassionate healer of the world and still remain centered in light and flowing with the universe. We don't need to give up our joy for the sake of others who are suffering. In fact, we are no service to when that happens. The greatest source of light we can be is when we remain stable, steadfast in our joy, in our light, in our compassion. We're able to help those around us. And of course, letting go of the expectation of how we think it needs to be, what it should like, what the best approach is going to be, what action or we need to make, and especially removing ourselves, as I said, out of the drama, but more importantly, out of any judgment whatsoever. So you might find it really helpful, of course, to meditate, to meditate and to allow for the solutions, to allow for that, the disarming, so to speak, the letting go of control, that depth of feeling that just allows for you to know, to trust, and be held and supported on your journey, and of course throughout any challenges or anything that you are going through within your own life. Now, I love it. I love it. I love it, because what also is happening here, really this June's energy is so powerful. It's going to start to increase every single day as we move forward. Those answers, the aha moments, the insights, the psychic abilities, our connection to the other side becomes more powerful, more powerful, more powerful as well. So here, stay within the moment. Meditation can help you to stay in the moment, help you to be mindful of your choices, but be mindful of what it is that you're picking up on, and trusting in your abilities, trusting in what you're receiving. And then, of course, following through accordingly, taking those small action steps forward, and being detached of where it's going to go, what's going to happen, what it's going to look like down the road, and just trusting on what you're receiving, trusting on the guidance that you're getting, and acting upon it. Now, as I said, in this powerful energy, there is greater activation. Not only here, as I said, we have our high heart because of the compassion, we're also the invitation to know and experience and be within a greater scope of understanding of the abundance that is available to us in this life, the abundance of love, the abundance of friendships, the abundance of health, the abundance of joy, the abundance of all things that we are looking to, the abundance of peace, the abundance of well-being, the abundance of love, it's all there for us for the accepting and the receiving. So with it, as we want to make sure that we are always acting according to our higher will. We're in a place of trust, and allowing for that direction to be shown to us. Activation, all from compassion, all from love. So we know a greater state of abundance. And what's so wonderful about this is the pineal gland is being activated. It is being influenced, in greater capacity than maybe what we've experienced. So if you've had any blocks within your clairvoyance, maybe feeling inability to see those next steps, to actually receive the guidance so that you can take action. If you've been feeling like you've been blocked in any way from not only a state, maybe higher consciousness, but that guidance, that wisdom, or feeling like you've been disconnected, this pineal gland is being activated under the these influences, which is allowing for us to be able to have the clarity that we are looking for. And any blocks in clear vision, you're going to see you're going to have a keener sense, not only with your physical eyes, but a keener sense within the mind's eye of those impressions that you're receiving from the other side. So again, I love it. The heart is opening. The heart is bringing in a state of compassion, helping us to love and appreciate our lives and rejoice in the abundance that's around us. And we're being able to see hope for the future. We're trusting in our abilities. We're receiving guidance. We're taking action, and we're seeing where the greater perspective, from a greater perspective, a greater understanding of what is possible, and even what our purpose is, or how it is we express our purpose through mediumship. You're going to see that June is a beautiful month, and especially as we come into this first week where we are realigning with path, with purpose, helping it to know that we are on track, and of course, elevating every part of us, elevating our vibration, our minds, our bodies, our life, so that we can move into a greater state of well-being, which is what we've all are praying for and holding space for the world at large, is that the joy, the well-being, and the healing that is so, so needed. And of course, I have a part in that. You have a part of that. We all have a part of it. And so June is a really active month where it's going to allow for those innate abilities to come forward, for us to feel motivated and apply ourself and our light into the world in even greater ways than what we perhaps ever even considered.